The St. Louis Cardinals have scaled new heights during the first 4 weeks of the 1974 season. They are undefeated, atop the NFC East Division race, and are off to their best start since 1966, when they did not lose until their 7th game. No, indeed, losing is not for the birds anymore. Losing is not in the avian appetite for 2 reasons, offense and defense. There are no better reasons. The Cardinal defense has bent 4 straight offenses out of shape and allowed just 29 points, less than any team in the National Football League. At the same time, the Cardinal offense has scored more points than any team in their conference. Number 85, Mel Gray, leads the home run hitting offense. Though Gray has just 8 receptions, 3 have gone for scores on plays of 57, 59, and 68 yards. In fact, of the 11 touchdowns that the Big Red offense has scored, incredibly, 7 of them have been on plays of 56 yards or longer. Quarterbacked by the NFC's second leading passer, Jim Hart, the Cardinal offense has become a time bomb. If the Cardinals are for real, they can prove it today, for their opponents are the down and desperate Dallas Cowboys, losers of 3 straight and in the basement of the division. Their streak of 8 straight playoff seasons is in serious jeopardy, for a loss to the Cards will stack the deck against Dallas. They will then be 4 games out of first place. So it's a battle of 2 teams in new roles. The St. Louis Cardinals trying to convince that they belong with the cream at the top, while the Dallas Cowboys try desperately to prove they're not welcome mats yet. The Cardinals and the Cowboys in the NFL Game of the Week. With their backs to the wall in the division race, the Cowboys came out hitting and shot down the Cardinals' first flight of fancy. With the running game checked, Hart went to the air and was twice nearly intercepted. On the first, Mel Gray was open for a while, but number 34, Cornell Green, successfully got inside position and actually had a better shot at the ball than Gray did. On the next play, no one had a better shot at Hart's pass than Dallas safety Cliff Harris, number 43. Harris was understandably upset, for looking at the same play from a different angle reveals that Harris was in full flight, and had he held on, he might have gone for 6. But on the next play, Dallas scored anyway. The new punt coverage rule came into play when rookie Dennis Morgan got 10 yards of running room before anyone challenged him, and with a flying start, he turned on the burners. Morgan's return was due in large part to the new rule. Under the old rules, Morgan probably would have let the ball bounce into the end zone. But with less coverage men bearing down on him, Morgan took a chance. The result, a sparkling 97-yard return as Dallas detonated a bomb of its own on the quick strike Cardinals and led 7-0. When the Dallas D again forced a punt, the Cowboy offense got its hands on the ball for the first time and ran right at the Cardinals defense. Number 35, Calvin Hill, got 5 and 10, and Walt Garrison, number 32, tacked on 9, then 18 yards on a well-executed draw. Dallas had a first down on the Cardinal 35, but then they tried to get fancy, and the Cowboys may have set a record in the losing of field position. Drew Pearson lost 22 yards on a reverse, And with 14 yards tacked on due to a clipping penalty, the Cowboys had moved backward 36 yards on one play. And instead of 1st and 10 on the St. Louis 35, they now faced 1st and 46 from their own 29. They didn't make it, and with 4th and 36, were forced to punt. After the first play of the Cardinals' possession, Mel Gray limped to the sideline and was replaced by Gary Hammond. But was Gray really hurt? Or was he just lending believability to his replacement by Hammond? Hammond was a quarterback in college, and on his first play in the game, he showed he could still throw a football. Tight end Jackie Smith was embarrassingly open, but 12 years of NFL pounding have taken some of the zip out of his legs, and though the play gained 83 yards, it did not result in a touchdown. Smith was disappointed, but 3 plays into the second quarter, Donnie Anderson's 1-yard plunge brought the Cardinals into a 7-7 tie. Taking their cue from the big play, Big Red offense, the Cardinal defense shut down the Cowboy attack, and it was time to unload another bomb. From the 20, Hart hit a suddenly sound and speedy Mel Gray with a perfect pass. The same play from an end zone camera reveals that Hart just got the ball over number 77, Bill Gregory, and a blitzing Leroy Jordan, number 55, yet still threw a strike. St. Louis had their 8th touchdown of the over 56-yard variety and led 14-7. Burned by 2 bombs, Dallas fought back, beginning with the kickoff following the score. Charles Young nearly broke it, but he had brought the ball to the Dallas 45. Then a good play fake by Staubach, and his pass to Hill gained 24 yards more. From the St. Louis 24, Staubach sent Drew Pearson in motion right, dropped straight back, and hit tight end Gene Fugit for the tying score. Repeating the play reveals that Fugit was wide open. Pearson, the leading receiver in the league, went right, drawing the St. Louis secondary his way and setting up single coverage on Fugit, who apparently had no trouble beating his man. Dallas 14, St. Louis 14. Wary of the Cardinal long ball potential, Dallas kicker Efren Herrera was instructed to squib all kickoffs. And while St. Louis was prevented from breaking one, they repeatedly got good field position. And from safe locations, Hart was not afraid to air it out. After nearly nailing Gray again, Hart next got the ball with 1 minute to go in the half. Dallas now sent in its pocket crasher, number 1 draft pick, Too Tall Jones. But Hart crossed the Cowboys with a draw. Keeping his passes short, Hart hit Smith for another first down. Then on 2nd and 10 with 18 seconds left, Hart went for the reliable Smith again. Another look at the play reveals no significant stratagem, just a blood and guts run by a super football player. Smith is currently the all-time leading receiver from the tight end position. He is caught and run with a lot of passes, but it was reported that on the sideline, Smith said this play was the greatest play of his career. One thing is sure, his teammates surely appreciated Smith's great effort and his 20-yard touchdown that gave St. Louis the lead at halftime, 21-14. With the specter of defeat looming incredibly, but nonetheless actually in their future for the fourth straight week, the Dallas Cowboys began the second half with possession of the football, but trailing the St. Louis Cardinals 21-14. Though Roger Staubach had been exceptionally accurate in the first half, hitting on 8 of 9 throws, his first aerial of the second half, intended for number 89 Billy Joe Dupree, was poorly thrown and intercepted by Clarence Duran. With the ball at the Cowboys' 31, Jim Hart almost returned the favor when his first pass of the half filtered in and out of the hands of the Cowboys' middle linebacker, Leroy Jordan. But when number 75, Jethro Pugh, was suckered out of position on this influence trap, the Cardinals punched for first down at the Cowboys' 19. Tom Landry watched as his doomsday defenders, who once spelled gloom wherever they visited, now were penetrated for 8 more yards, bringing up a crucial third and short situation. Jim Hart chose Terry Metcalf on a quick tackle trap, but Dave Edwards got a shoulder in the play. Cornell Green jerked the ball free, and it appeared that Doomsday had redeemed Staubach's poor pass. But neither Mel Renfro nor D.D. Lewis could cover the loose ball, and the Cardinals won the battle at the bottom of the pile, presenting them with a 4th and inches dilemma at the Dallas 10. Leading by 7, the Cardinals went for the first down. They got it, and on 1st and goal from the 8, Terry Metcalf found daylight and ran the Cardinals' lead to 28-14. Don Coryell's high-stakes gamble paid off. Disdaining the field goal and risking all or nothing, the Cardinals head coach displayed the flamboyant style which has ignited his go for broke gang. Another look at the score will show that St. Louis victimized the Doomsday flex with cross-blocking, and that an aggressive lead block by Donnie Anderson ushered Metcalf into the end zone. Gamblers' tactics are one thing, and disciplined execution is something else again. But Coach Coryell seems to have brought both with him to the old riverboat town of St. Louis. Down by 2 touchdowns now, the very real prospect of 4 consecutive defeats dawned sharply for the proud old champions. And with a poise befitting his honest All-America credentials, Roger Staubach went back to work. First, he found Drew Pearson over the middle for an 18-yard gainer. Then, catching the Cardinal rush line with toes out, he sent Calvin Hill on a draw, blasting for 20 more yards. But the drive failed at the St. Louis 42 when Staubach's perfectly thrown bomb skidded off the hands of Golden Richards, and Dallas remained down by 14. Only a tight-lipped expression and momentarily bowed head revealed the anguish in the heart of Tom Landry. While across the way, strain was also written across the face of Coach Coryell, as his Cardinals were forced to give up the football without a first down. Another draw caught the Cardinals thinking that the Cowboys must play catch-up quick. Staubach, pulling out all stops, found open spaces good for a 13-yard gain to the St. Louis 40. Then Roger the Dodger put it up in traffic, and only a well-timed stick by Norm Thompson left Drew Pearson empty-handed. But on the very next play, Staubach came back with the same pattern, and this time Pearson made the grab good for 20 yards. Sticking close to earth, the Cowboys ground their way down to a 4th and short, and Landry directed them to go for it at the Cardinals' 11. He, too, was successful, although his choice was more necessity than gamble. And at the top of the 4th quarter, Walt Garrison powered over, making the score 28-21 with 13:56 remaining. The Dallas defense, which limited St. Louis to 2 first downs in the 3rd quarter, again forced St. Louis to play 1, 2, 3 and punt. Cliff Harris made a daring running catch of the ball, hoping to break a big play, but he was down to the Dallas 19. With only 22 seconds lost since Garrison's touchdown, the Cowboys' offense was back in control. Once again, a strong rush forced Staubach to sustain a drive by his own two-legged wisdom. But again, a promising long drive was aborted when another perfectly thrown bomb dropped harmlessly out of Drew Pearson's hands. And with each repeated reach falling painfully short of the Dallas grasp, the mounting pressure was intensified in the face of Coach Coryell as his Cardinals again failed to record a first down. With 7:08 to go, Staubach was once again on the firing line, finding Drew Pearson again over the middle, this time for 17 yards to the Cardinals' 33. Comeback screen to tight end Gene Fugit advanced the ball to the 26, and the Dallas bench grew uneasy with anticipation. On 2nd down, and needing 3 at the 26-yard line, Staubach retreated to pass. With excellent protection, he could find no one open, and feeling pressure, he headed to his left, where the Cardinals had been unable to contain all day. The gain was to the 17-yard line, and 2 plays later, pass interference called against Norm Thompson gave Dallas 1st and goal at the 1. With 3:39 remaining, Roger himself ran it in, and the score was tied at 28 all. And then, eschewing the squib kick tactics which had kept the Cardinals in advantageous field position most of the day, Efren Herrera put the foot to it. Terry Metcalf fielded the ball at the St. Louis 9, and 56 yards later he went down at the Dallas 34, perhaps proving the wisdom of the squib kick philosophy. Coach Coryell hung on for 2 minutes and 33 seconds as his team gouged out its first and only first down of the quarter before Jim Bakken was forced to put up a 31-yard field goal. It was good, and the matter-of-fact Bakken was congratulated by his joyful teammates, now leading 31-28. "57 seconds remained when Staubach got his hands on the football again, and 2 passes moved Dallas into St. Louis territory. Staubach's last-minute heroics suffered when Leo Brooks toppled him on his side of the 50, costing the Cowboys their last timeout. But the intrepid Staubach refused to yield, and with 16 seconds remaining, he found Golden Richards near the Cardinals' 20. Richards suffered an honest bell ringer, and the ball rolled free, but the catch was ruled good, the ball dead, and the clock kept moving until it was halted with only 2 seconds remaining. Nervously, the Cardinals stood by, awaiting a ruling which might endanger their frail three-point advantage. But Dallas had no timeouts remaining. They could not get the ball in play for a field goal try, and St. Louis had its 5th surprising victory of the season against no defeats, and for one solid month had maintained sole possession of the top spot in the NFL East, a month in which, incredibly, the defending division champs, the Cowboys, had suffered 4 consecutive defeats, and now, in this meeting, the St. Louis Cardinals' rights to first place were affirmed on the scoreboard, 31-28. A defeat for the Cowboys not unlike in form the defeat the previous week in Minnesota, where they won the air and ground battles but lost the war, and a victory for the Cardinals not like any other since the coming of Don Coryell to St. Louis. The National Car Rental Player of the Game was the Cardinals' inspirational tight end Jackie Smith for his pass catching, power running, and blocking.